All right, welcome everybody to the Ask an Angel free call. We have these calls every single Sunday at 2 o'clock, with sometimes exceptions, which happens to be next Sunday. Next Sunday, we're going to do it at 9 a.m. because I have something that I need to attend in the midday. So next Sunday's call will be at 9 a.m. That's New York time. So mark that on your calendar. And other than that, it's usually on Sunday at 2 o'clock. And tell your friends, please, and family, and those, especially as we're going through this holiday season. I know it can be difficult for people, and it's wonderful to stay centered and in a high vibration and feel loved up. So let other people know, because we're just here to be in community together. All right, so today we're going to connect with Saint Germain. And for those of you who are not familiar with Saint Germain's energy, I'm sure most of you are, but if you're not, it's very, very powerful. And there's a place that I've been to many, many times that most of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with, called Mount Shasta in Northern California. And it is a very etheric and magical place that I have to say, really magical things happen when you visit there. Certainly they have for me. And there is a tale that, like folklore, that within the mountain are beings of light, and they live in there and they're helping humanity. And however you want to think about that, whether you want to think about it as a story or as reality, is up to you. But the energy around there is incredibly palpable and powerful, and you can feel it by being on the mountain. And I've had some extraordinary experiences there. And my perception, or my way of looking at it, is that there is this incredible etheric realm, just like with where the angel Raphael dwells, where we can enter in and connect beyond the veil with incredible beings of light that are here to support us. And including in that is this place called Telos at Mount Shasta, where we can attune to these beautiful, beautiful beings that are here to support us, including Saint Germain. Now, Saint Germain is not only, in that area, but all over, and has had many, many, many lifetimes, and is an avatar of great stature and available to support us. And sometimes I think that we forget that we have access to these beautiful beings, such as Raphael and others, to support us on our journey. So we're going to tap in today to Saint Germain's energy, and do a process of releasing and letting go of discordant energy within our energetic field, and really clearing it to open up space. As we go into the new year, we're going to be working a lot more diligently with Saint Germain's energy, as we continue with the key codes that we've been working on, to really get everything cleared out and really like bright and shiny and ready. And then we're going to go into the creation key code in mid-January. For those of you who are in the IM or Ascended Master program, or some of you just pop in here and there to do key codes, just to give you a flavor of where we're going. And we're going to be working with that womb creative energy and the creation process for creating and getting things in our template really prepared to make 2023 like the best year ever. So that's the plan. And in the meantime, we're just going to like knock off a little Christ consciousness in December, no big deal or anything. We'll just get that out of the way before we move on to the other stuff. So the Christ consciousness key code begins on 12/12, which is perfect, working with the 12 masters and Christ consciousness. This is nothing religious whatsoever. This is the consciousness of Christ around him as an avatar of light, and bringing presence really into our being, and celebrating the season, whether you celebrate these particular holidays or not. If you happen to be in the United States, no matter what, you're going to see it everywhere. You're immersed in it anyway. So it's about really just bringing joy to this process and love, because that's what it's about, right? Illuminating and bringing light. not about how much junk we can buy on Amazon and get shipped to our house and how quickly we can get our wreath on the door and get things checked off our list. Although we may think that that is what we're doing, it's really not about that. We can easily get caught in that. So the Christ Consciousness Key Code is going to help us to maintain a sense of centeredness and priority and reality around what this is about, which is about loving each other and giving to each other. But doesn't mean we have to give by buying. And then we can do that too. And as long as that's bringing joy, then go for it. But we're going to try and tap into the more of the spiritual aspect of it through the Christ Consciousness Key Code and aligning with the Essenes and the avatars during that time and their ability to do miracles and all kinds of things and begin to move with that energy. So because it is whatever they call it, right? Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that craziness where we're programmed. Okay, this is the moment. We got to buy all this stuff. Quick, 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 hurry, click it because it's going to be gone. We decided that we would put key codes on sale too, just for you guys to make it fun. So it's 50% off today if you want to do a key code. So like if you missed one and you are unable to do the whole membership and you want to drop in, you can get it. Okay. All right, very fun. So we are going to tune into Saint Germain. I'm going to channel. If you are so new to this process, oh, and yeah, you guys are on the chat. Just go in. It should be in the email. There should be a coupon. You get half off any key code. So if you need healing, you can do the DNA. If you need self-love, you can do the self-love. If you need to rewrite your contracts with your family members, do the Council of Life. If you need to get grounded, do the Earth Star. If you need to open your pineal gland, do the pineal gland. Or you can join us for Christ Consciousness beginning on the 12th, and then it will go back to normal. Okay, so what did I want to say? Something about today's call. We're going to go into meditation, so just kind of get cozy after the transmission comes through and go through this beautiful process. I just realized I don't have my mic, so hopefully the sound quality will work. And can everybody hear me okay? We're good. Okay, super. What I did want to say is if you're new to this call, which probably you're not, but if you are, I've been channeling since 1989. It's kind of second nature to me. I make a lot of toning sounds. I move my hands all over the place. And it seems as though when I make the toning sounds, although I wish you could hear them, although they're not necessarily that beautiful, the vibration's powerful, it seems to mess up with Zoom. So I have to turn the mic off in order to tone. So it will be silent for a few moments as I bring in Raphael. Then Raphael will come in and say hello. Wherever you are in the world, you will say hello back. We cannot unmute you because it would be mayhem. And Casey is here. I'm sure I can't see his picture, but I'm sure he's right here. There he is. And he's going to say hello back. And then we're going to move into it. Okay. All right. And if you guys didn't take Starseed 1 or 2, best class we've ever done. Great gift to give somebody for the holidays. If you don't want to buy them junk, you want to help them evolve their consciousness. The good one. All right, all set. Here we go. I'm going to turn off the mic. Sorry again for the shadow. Best I could do with the light. I don't have my master Casey here helping me with equipment. I'll be right back.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. As always, we are delighted to be here and to be of service from the angelic realm and beyond to assist you in whatever it is that you are wanting to do. And so, what is it?
Hi, Raphael. Well, today we want to connect with Saint Germain and first of all, understand a little bit more about him as an ascended master and what working with the violet flame can do for us.
It is that you get very caught in your mind and in your experience and in what many of you call the third dimension, and you forget about us, and you forget about the tools that are accessible to you. For you, in many regards, from a collective perspective, have lost trust in the divine, which is actually losing trust in self, in the remembering that you and the divine are one. And it is that Saint Germain is here because he is of a great master, meaning he has lived multiple lifetimes, diligently attuning to the I am that I am presence of who it is that he is, as he has fully embodied that, moving beyond that of form. And it is that in this process, he has dedicated through his willingness and his light that he carries within him to support all of you, meaning humanity, that in many regards you think of yourself sometimes caught in the matrix of form, in this process of transmuting and releasing that hold that is inside and around you in different aspects of self, to let it move into and to begin to radiate into a higher frequency. And so it is that he is here to remind you the power of your intent. And we want you to take that in for a moment, because it is easy to forget about how easy it is to just take a moment and to choose and to intend that in which you're wanting, or that in which you're wanting to bring forward or create or connect to or heal or transmute. And yet it is that in the daily life of the human experience, the mind gets moving and the emotional energy gets caught on a story, and the body gets densified with heavy energies, and you simply can go through your entire day or many days or even a lifetime without the recognition that it is through your intent that creation is formed. And it is that your intent is creating. It is whether you are choosing to align with a conscious intent or an unconscious intent. And so it is always placing its attention, it is always placing its focus on the wave of light that can only move in the direction of where the intent and the focus on it forces or moves it to go. For everything is made of waves. Some of you in the science community would call it a sine wave. And that wave is always, no matter how complicated the fractal pattern or the geometric pattern of life itself that is mirroring the complexity of the holographic field in which you are moving through, is mirroring to you ultimately at the simplistic energetic formation of what it is a wave. And waves can only begin to create matter through focus that comes from spirit, for it is the merging of matter and spirit together that Saint Germain is a master of. He is an alchemist, and an alchemist is here to allow you to bring into balance that of the emotional field that is discordant, to bring into balance the stillness of the mind and the purifying of the body. And it is the combination of these energies that swirl through the violet flame, to transmute, to clear discordant or incoherent energetic patterns within your being, to the awakening and the ability to release the densified energies enough to feel, to sense, and to know the I am, that I am present as is within you and is a part of and is self. And it is that through that, all things across the planet can be healed and transmuted as they merge back into their original state through the intent and focus of the collective. And so it is of great importance that you choose with your intent to access not only the energy of the violet flame and the power that it holds and resides for all of you, but the attunement and the alignment with the I am that I am through the stillness of the mind. And it is that we can share this with you in many different ways, in many different forms, but ultimately it continuously returns and comes back to your presence. For it is through the presence and the unfolding and the allowing of the shadow to arise without judgment and invoking the connection to the presence of the violet flame or the I am that I am, or the energy of transmutation itself, with the intent that you hold, that the energies become cleared and the karmic energies of accumulation of density of lifetime after lifetime, or trauma after trauma, or story after story, can simultaneously be transmuted. And yet the willingness to utilize these tools, to access them, to invite them, to call upon them, to invoke them regularly, get slipped by in the busyness of the day, which we recognize. But it is from the collective perspective and the perspective in which we can see from where it is that you are. You have descended over time through the spiral of energies into the most densified, divisive, divided field of energy of the ego mind, into the depth of as far as one can go. And within recent years, you have been taking an upward spiral back into the ascension, back ascending into the higher octaves of energy through a very quickening pace, as though you were leaping exponentially into a new world. And that world has been and is born and here. And yet the old programming of the matrix, the old programming of hierarchy, that of comparison, of unworthiness, of judgment, of shame, of guilt, of all of those things in which over time we work with you to release and to let go, still may have residuals within your energetic field. And it is the violet flame that can come in, consume, and transmute it instantaneously upon your calling and invoking. And so it is that Saint Germain is here, he is present and available to you. And when I say to you, I mean each and every one of you at any time and space, for he is with you all simultaneously. And it is through the inviting of the mastered vibration of his energy and the violet flame into the presence of where it is that you are and who it is that you are, without hindering, pushing down, or wanting it to be a certain way, trusting, surrendering, letting go, and allowing it to unfold in its divine timing with absolute complete trust that it is perfect. That flame shall come in with the willingness to let go and the surfacing of the shadow to arise, to transmute and dissolve it as it opens up spaciousness of higher frequencies and openness through the focus intent of your energy to begin to form through where it is that you choose to place your attention, the waves to move into creation through the womb of creation itself, as you birth into a reality that is a timeline of an experience vibrating with the vibration of love, and the vibration of joy. For you are moving very quickly as you are spiraling through the universe into a new opening and a space. And with that, there are many energies that are breaking off, meaning timelines are opening into infinite possibilities. And with that, through your intent, you may choose the timeline of the new earth in which you awaken together and collectively moving into the unified field, and recognizing that as you see the universe and your world and the earth as a holographic field, you recognize the tiniest particle or part that you may see yourself sometimes as insignificantly playing in the unfoldment of this play is a part of the whole and consequential in the words, thoughts, actions, and feelings you hold in the holographic vibration of the mirrored effect of your reality, not only for your own human endeavors and experience in this particular lifetime, but that of the golden thread that passes through all lifetimes in which you have incarnated and continue to do, and for the collective of all with you. And so it is with that that we want to assist you in remembering about these tools and how to utilize them.
Thank you, Raphael. And I think what we really want is to understand, number one, where have we lost faith in the divine? And if we have the intention to get it back, what more do we need to do than that?
It is the intention and the surrendering and the trusting. It is that the ego mind, through free will, got so involved in having to figure it out and take over that you lost the spaciousness of the presence within to be the guiding light as you moved forward, and you decided that you knew better. And through that, you began to lose faith, even in faith that you would have a meal, or that you would be safe, or that you would be taken care of, as you forgot and lost the ties of the connection to the universal field itself. And through that, having to fix it and make it and solve it and do it, you created a structure of greater than, or more important, or hierarchy, in the forgetting that you are in a unified field of light together. And it is that through the cooperation and the connection within and around one another, and the trust in the divine, in the unfoldment, that as life brings experiences into your reality, that you move and flow with them, navigating through and allowing the unfoldment of them to occur in alignment of the trusting in that process without the judgment of it, that things begin on their own to have their own life and begin to unwind and ravel into the most beautiful tapestry possible. And so it is that you now are gaining an understanding and an awakening to that. And that is why Saint Germain is so imperative during this time of transformation, because not only can he bring about the awakening of this remembering, but he can support in the transmuting of the shadow of the old energies that are discordant, that are still held within your energetic field. But he can also remind you that freedom is not necessarily that in which you are thinking. Freedom is that in the willingness to let go and to surrender to the I am that I am presence, in the breaking down of the construct of the design that was put in place through the structural systems of matter that had to formulate itself in order to create a certain aspect for the operational prospects of recognizing self within all things as a mirrored reflection. And that fractal patterning is no longer consequential as you are moving into higher octaves, as it begins to reorient itself in a new way. And so the freedom then, in a sense, is the breaking down of the illusion that you are somehow are not free, or that you are maintained, or that your life is in relationship to the structures of the old paradigm that told you you had to do certain things in a certain way. And so that is why across your planet, you will see a lot of rebelling, a lot of protesting, a lot of breaking down of these structures. Literally, they will need to collapse in order for you to feel and to know that the freedom that you desire does not reside in the formation of these structures, but in the trusting in the divine, which is self, and the full remembering and complete deep knowing and understanding that you are the divine, that you are the master, that you are the ascended being, that you are the creator. When the constructs of that old patterning are finally broken through, the wall is shattered, and you can see beyond the veil of the illusion itself, then there is nothing and no one and no way that you can be controlled, because you are aligning with your own divine presence, the I am that I am. And from that, there is nothing more than that, because that is all that is. And so as you continue to reconnect, to merge with that I am, to trust in the I am, to hand over to the I am, to surrender to the I am, really doing so without, well, I hand and I surrender, but I'm not really believing you, so I'm going to do this or that. What happens then is the constructs begin to build up these denser energies around you. Now, we're not saying that you do not, that does not mean to sit around or just to meditate all day or to be on a mountaintop. You need to move through time and space. You need to utilize the body. You need to take actions, but you take them from a perspective that comes from the excitement of creation, not from the fear of lack or the fear of not enough or the worry. You're moving your intention and your focus from a different energetic patterning, in which case everything begins to open up for you as you align with what is bringing you joy, and how you may be of service, and how you may share and expand and grow and be, rather than this constricted energy that one needs to do something in order to have a currency, in order to feel safe, where you find the safety not in the constructs of the currency that has been programmed into you, that you are not safe without it, but that construct of that model, which many of you might even call your financial system, then will no longer be relevant as time passes, because the safety that will not come from that, but from within. It will be from within, not from without. And new structures, new ways of working together in community and embodying the way in which the world unfolds will unfold as well, as you will move into that particular and new time field of a unified field of light, which will be something experienced in this lifetime for many of you, as you fully embrace that. And it is that Saint Germain was able to do that even in the human experience, in the many incarnations in which he lived and dwelled over time through practice. And it requires a practice. It requires purifying of the body. You cannot ascend into these higher octaves of the unfoldment of aligning fully with the patterns of the universe in full trust and faith of it, if the body is deeply polluted or heavily anchored down in dense form. You must purify the temple, and then you must purify the mind, meaning spending time in the meditation of stillness, allowing the cloud to pass by in the presence of recognizing the divine light that is shining through all things. And then you must become a master of your emotional field, meaning that the emotional body must come into coherence with an awareness that you are consciously aware of the emotions that are arising at any time, and through the presence and the alignment with them and the willingness for the awakening and the releasing of that shadow that may need to be, that is unresolved, to come to surface without judgment, you begin to bring in more and more and more coherence over time, becoming less and less rattled, less and less triggered, more in a space of serenity, no, interdependently upon whatever may be unfolding around you, whatever storm or chaotic experience may be occurring, as the witness. And so you become then a master of the mind, of the emotional field, and of the purified body, aligning these energies together, which, when culminated into one unified energy, is the violet flame itself, as it is going into these different quadrants and it is transmuting them by you inviting it and invoking it to do so at any given moment. And it is through that across the globe, as this is happening, as the violet flame simply being one of infinite tools that are available to you to support you in becoming the master of these different energetic fields within, around, and through you, that the healing on the quantum level takes place. Now, we bring forward this mystical process of the violet flame and Saint Germain's energy, for he is the one ushering in many regards, what you might call the Aquarius age. And he is dropping at your doorstep tool after tool after tool after tool to invite you to utilize it, for he has been harnessing, holding, loving, and caring for these tools so they would be accessible to you when ready. And yet we understand that the mind and the old patterning can keep flooding in. In many regards, sometimes it's like you're building a sand castle and you're digging and digging and digging into the water, into the sand, and then the water keeps filling it up. And then it gets a bit and the water keeps filling it up, because the water sometimes feels like the old matrix, the old structure, the old patterning, the old belief systems. And sometimes it feels like you just can't quite get there. But it is from a new perspective, you might see that you just need to reposition yourself somewhere where you're not so connected to the energy that is coming in, that is continuously flooding you with the old matrix, which in many regards is a disconnecting from old paradigms, old systems, old ways. And that is often where boundaries come in, where you have to get really clear on how is it that you maintain a sense of equilibrium within your emotional field, within your mental mind, within the purified of the body. And yet, because of this deep programming, there can be pressure that can come from family and outside circumstances and other ways of thinking and being that are so embedded in the collective that that is the way, that you can even be not forced, but invited repetitively to have a beer or to have a steak or to do something that perhaps for your body doesn't feel good, or you may be repetitively distracted by things outside of yourself that are keeping the mind from moving into meditation or stillness, because there are energies that are very, very invested in holding you within that matrix, within that old construct of hierarchy, because they feed on that energy, which is that feeds their ego, as they are usually hovering at the top of the hierarchy of the old paradigm, and they're not that excited about letting go of that sense of control, and so they formulate things to keep you in some regards asleep, where the body is impure, where you're eating and being fed foods that are filled with toxins and fillers and medicines and all kinds of things that deaden your being, that that deaden your pineal gland, things that deaden the mind from moving into stillness and awareness, like electronics and distraction and all kinds of things that are bombarding you all the time, electromagnetic energies and fields and things. And then the emotional body, that you have to meet expectation after expectation after expectation of others, and in certain ways in which you cannot even find in the static of all of that confusion, what is your heart's desire? What brings you joy? What are your gifts? How can you express yourself? How can you align and attune to the I am that I am presence? And so it is energies like myself in which you can call upon me, for I am right here within you. You do not need this vehicle, Kelly, to speak to me, for I live and dwell within your heart, as does Saint Germain and all of the ascended beings and masters who are avatars of light, who are descending in droves and legions of light from the other realms into the earth right now to support you, for it is in the best interest of the entire galactic community that the evolution of the earth and the healing of her as a beautiful unit begins to flourish and thrive in the remembering again of your own divinity. And so that is why we come every week to talk to you, and we share our codes of light as they are coming in to help you decipher them and share the vibration of our love to move in to create this remembering within you of the godlike state of self of who you are, so that you see in the mirror the divinity of self and the unsurfacing and the releasing of the shadow of unworthiness, of shame, of guilt, of the ego mind, of distraction, of addiction, all these things, allowing them to rise up like trash to the surface, not to be hidden underneath, but to be seen, to be revealed, to be looked at, to be noticed, to bring presence to them, and to allow them off to go along their way without pushing them back down and pretending that they are not there, pretending they do not exist, just like pretending that there is not so much trash on the planet, and hiding yourself from the fact of all the issues that are happening. You have to allow them to come up. You have to look at them. You cannot hide away in a corner and pretend that it is not there. That is not spirituality. That is isolation. And it is that when you face what it is that is happening, whether it is in your own life or on the planet or around the globe or from the galactic perspective, that then you align with the I am that I am presence. And with that, you continuously hand it over, and take action toward a greater and better world. But it is not to get rid of it, pretend it's not there, push it down, pretend you're not feeling that, and surface it with a spirituality, with a sense of what we call bypassing doing the actual work and putting icing on top when inside the cake is rotting beneath. It is an allowing for it to come up. And it doesn't mean that in coming up, it has to be hard or long or forever, or a huge process. That is why we give you these tools to work with us, to work with the keys, to work with the violet flame, to open up the DNA, to activate the pineal gland, to rewrite your contracts, to look at discernment, to work with geometry and light and sound and other dimensions, to heal and to purify the body, the mind, and the soul. And it is through that then you become a witness, the observer, from a place of centeredness and coherent energy in joy as you move through the expression of your humanness. And so that is why we are here, and that is what it is that we are doing.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you so much. And as we're in this journey of waking up, can you give us some practical examples of how to use the violet flame and how it might work on from a metaphysical perspective?
Well, it is that you have to move into meditation and travel to an etheric place where we reside, invite and invoke the flame through your intent to come and to feel its presence. And it takes sometimes practice. And over time, and it doesn't have to be a long time, you'll begin to feel the qualities of it. You'll begin to feel the heat of it. You'll be able to feel the power of it. You'll be able to sense its energies. And you can invoke it to move into discordant energies that are densified within your energetic field. And as it rises up through it, it literally clears it. It dissolves it. It allows it to merge back into the infinite. It is no longer caught within the web of your own field, but it is allowed. It is like a quickening process to healing, a quickening to the emotional healing, the physical healing. And it is simply through a willingness to arrive and to go. Now, we, with Kelly, often bring her to the mountain of Shasta, into the mountain and into the temple, where through that you can feel the vibration, palpable. You can feel Adama's energy. You can sense the presence of the temple and the crystals and the light. You can move into the room. You can feel the violet flame coming up from below and from above as it meets within the heart and expands through. And it is simply that, as simple as that. As you go off to sleep at night, before you click on your light, say, I intend tonight to visit the temple of transmutation, to invoke and invite and allow the violet flame to transmute and release any discordant energy that is literally like lead that is heavy and dense within your being, that is that of old emotional patterns, or even disease in the body, or a ruminating of the mind that can get caught in panic. And just simply open up, allow, and know that this energy of the violet flame, as it moves up, it transmutes that lead like into gold from an alchemist perspective. For it is that Saint Germain was the great alchemist, and you're alchemizing and purifying and returning to these higher frequencies, utilizing this as one of many tools. And it is that if you did this every night for 30 or 60 or 90 nights, your life would be transformed. But it is very few people that have the discipline and the reverence and the willingness to continue stick with the work and continuously do it. But the effects are profound. And because of what's happening on your planet and the ability to move so quickly, and the veil is so thin, and the access to so many beings is so strong, this is so incredibly powerful. And not only can you invoke it for yourself, but for the earth and for all of humanity as a being of great service. But when you do it, you do not do it from a place of expectation. You do not do it from a place of, oh, I'm going to do this and then this will happen. You just simply do it to allow it to do it, and then you let go. You trust in how it's going to unravel, how it's going to unfold, how it's going to unwind, and what doorways then will start to open, what meetings of coincidental synchronicities will start to unravel and unfold in your experience, and the magic will start to play. But what happens is you have good intentions and you might do it today or even tonight, and then off in the running and the forgetting, back into the matrix of the little a little world that you get caught within and the forgetting of that. And that's all right. We are not judging that. But what we are saying is that with some discipline, and we're not saying like monks who have spent every day for their entire life in prayer is necessary, but dedication regularly for good chunks of periods of time, especially with the intent before bed and at least another time during the day, to move into presence, to move into stillness, to invoke the violet flame, to attune to the I am that I am presence, to be aware of your state of consciousness, to make your consciousness and the evolution of your consciousness your number one priority over everything else, while also purifying the temple body. It is the merging of these energies within the heart center that the awakening across the planet will unfold.
Thank you, Raphael. So, could you take us through a meditation now to guide us into that stillness, that space, to use the flame that we can use later over and over again to continue and deepen our practice?
Oh, yes. Taking a moment now to close your eyes. Moving into your body, bringing all of your energy into your body, being here and now in the presence of this moment, remembering that you are divine, that you are an ascended master, that you are the creator of your experience, that through your conscious intent and focus, you may align with the highest frequency of love, connecting to your own unique and individualized I am that I am presence, placing your hand on your heart, feeling the warmth in your heart, and becoming aware of the I am that I am. You may notice this energy as something taller than you, a bit brighter, glowing in a purified state. Its garment of light is still over a body temple. This temple is purified and radiating light. You too may merge with this purified temple as you choose to consume and bring into your body substances filled with the highest quality and quotations of light. Attuning to the I am that I am presence, you also feel and notice its stillness, its sense of presence in the here and now, for it is only in this moment that the I am that I am exists, for its mind does not travel forward nor back, but is always present here. Attuning to the I am that I am presence and its emotional field, recognizing the coherence within its being, the perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy uniting in the unified field of the heart center. As you attune to the I am that I am presence, bring its energy closer to you as you feel and sense it. Know that it is already inside of you, for you are the I am that I am, but it supports you in imagining and noticing it floating in front of you as well. As you begin to come closer to it, as it envelops and holds you, and you're being held in the vibration and the love of the I am that I am presence. The I am that I am presence is made of patterns, geometries, and fractal patterns. It is already consumed by the light garment of love, and yet around it is a light body, Merkaba. This Merkaba is around you and the I am that I am. Begin to feel and sense the merging with the I am and the Merkaba around you. If you are not familiar with the Merkaba or Merkaba, it is two star tetrahedrons coming together, one descending from the heavens and one surfacing from beneath the earth, meeting within your heart and spinning counterclockwise and clockwise simultaneously to create a stabilized and unified holographic field where matter and creation are born. As this energy is spinning, it instantaneously with you transports you to a place of your intent. The intent now is to connect to the master temple of the violet flame, where Saint Germain is awaiting your appearance. You are instantaneously transported now to Northern California, where you are hovering above the beautiful mountain of Shasta. It is that there is snow and the cold air now, and you feel the presence and the energy emanating over and around the mountain. You are being invited as beings of light who have the intention to evolve and to ascend into the mountain to receive this beautiful invocation and amazing transmutation of the violet flame. Begin to sense yourself now, tuning into the mountain as if you are hovering like a saucer above it. And as you hover there, notice the mountain opens as if you are looking down into the cavernous mountain itself. And as you do so, you begin to descend, descending along a spiral of light with your light body, Merkaba, into the mountain. As you descend into the mountain, there is a holding station. This station is made of gold, and you are there in the holding station with everyone else listening at this moment. You're arriving together and waiting. Beneath you is a golden disc, and in the center of the disc is a sliver that is going to open as you are being welcomed with open arms and invited into the mountain and the etheric city of Telos. As the mountain begins to open and the disc widens further, you begin to descend, feeling yourself dropping as your eyes are becoming heavier and heavier. And you are dropping into a deeper and deeper state, falling and descending down the spiral into the beautiful mountain, into the crystalline city of Telos. As you arrive, everything there is shimmering and glistening with light. There is a warm glow, and you feel at ease, safe, and at home. There are beautiful flowers blooming everywhere, like gardens as far as the eye can see, with waterfalls and fountains all around. You sense the beings in the crystalline city that resides in a higher dimension, and they float and are luminous. They are taller than you. They have sweet eyes and warm smiles. Their hearts glow through their clothing and garments that are translucent as they pass by. They nod and bow, welcoming you into their home. And as you become more familiar with this beautiful place, you start to become aware of the beautiful, powerful, and majestic Saint Germain. Saint Germain says hello. He is wearing a very beautiful purple velvet robe with gold. Upon his chest is the emblem of the Maltese cross, and today he is wearing a crown. His eyes are sweet, and he carries a scepter. He is waiting for all of you and welcoming you here, for he often visits and spends time in Telos. He has a dwelling here, and it is made of amethyst crystal. He asks you now to follow him as he turns around, and you notice his robe as it cascades along, and you follow him. He feels as though he is floating, and you are floating with him through the corridors of this crystal city that is glistening with light. As you move through the corridors, you notice many temples made of different shapes all around. He wants to remind you that you are invited at any time to visit any of these temples, for they each carry their own qualities of healing on different levels and are accompanied by different masters. As you follow him moving through the meadows of the blooming flowers and the crystalline light, you notice a gorgeous temple ahead that is glistening with gold. As you begin to approach the temple, there are two columns, and you begin to walk with him gently and slowly up the stairs. And as you arrive, there is a very large golden door, bigger than any door you have ever seen. And on either side, there are beings. And as you pass through, they clear your field, welcoming you into this sacred temple. As the door opens and you follow Saint Germain, you are so surprised to see that the temple is made of amethyst. It is a purple crystal all over the floor, and yet it is not sharp, for you can float above it. And within this temple that is in the shape of a circle, it is circular. There are seats, they are made of purple velvet, and there is one for everyone to find their own. You start to float and feel called to a particular spot, to move toward and sit on the velvet cushion of that seat. And as you sit down, you feel a sense that you are home. You begin to have flooded memories of who you are, of how divine you are, of how temporary your human experience is, of your choice to come to earth, of your choice to be here now and to remember your divinity. You sit here, and it is like floods of memories and knowings are pouring in. You have access to the great records, and within those scrolls, anything that you need to ask or know is at your fingertips. Something may arise in your heart, a wondering, a curiosity, and you can simply invite and ask for it to show itself. As you touch the air in front of you with the intent of a knowing, it is like a flashing of a movie, The answer, the awareness, the remembering arises, clarity comes, focus, knowing, and understanding, allowing it on the screen to show itself to you. Just know that this is available, for you may enter this temple at any time, find yourself sitting on the cushion, asking a question about any lifetime, about anything now in your life, about anyone or anything, and it will pop up. You will see it moving like it is alive, like it is happening now. An awareness that supports you in your evolution arises. As you are contemplating and witnessing this now, Saint Germain is in the center of the temple, standing in the middle of an emblem of the Maltese cross. He is standing there, and he is very powerful. He has been caring for and feeding the violet flame for time beyond your knowing, and so it is perpetually available for you at any time. Beneath the chair in which you are sitting, there is a small flame that is just simply flickering. It has been taken from the larger flame, and it has been constructed for you personally, calibrated to the ability in which you are able to receive it, that is in alignment with the perfect amount for you now. As you close down the movie of the projection of what you needed to feel, see, know, or understand, you start to bring your awareness and your intention and your focus now to the flame beneath your chair. This flame is going to slowly begin to grow in size. It is in alignment with the perfect temperature that merges with who you are. It is not too hot or too cold. It will not be too strong or too low. It is in alignment with your I am, that I am presence. Invite it now with the intent that anything first within the body in which you are choosing to be purified, to be healed, to be cleared on a deep cellular level and within the DNA, within the organs and the tissues of the physical form and temple itself, inviting the violet flame now to rise. And as it rises, you feel a tingling in your feet and a warmth and a knowing that it is transmuting any discordant or incoherent energies that are not in alignment with the purified body temple. And as it rises up through the ankles, the knees, the thighs, the calves, into the lower quadrant of the body, around all the major organs, spiraling up now through the heart and the throat, the shoulder, the back, the head, and above the crown, let go, surrender, open, allow it to do its work. As it is transmuting, dissolving, releasing, purifying any energies that are no longer serving you, no longer in alignment with the purified body and field, no longer needed at this time for the evolution of your growth, in your willingness to let them go. And so it is. And as that flame continues to perpetually do its work, and as it is there, you don't have to think about it, it simply is. Bring your intent and awareness back down underneath the chair, and there is another ring of fire that is about to rise. And this one will rise around and through the energy that has already been risen to begin to clear the mind. Begin to feel its energy rise and the tingling move through your feet as it moves through the body, quickening around it as it brings its energy and focus into the mind. And as it moves into the mind, it is going in and unraveling and releasing and letting go discordant thoughts of timelines not in alignment with the presence of now. The letting go of the past, the worry, the revisiting and the thinking, the going around in a circle on an old story or thought. It is transmuting and releasing and letting go the worry of the future, what will or will not happen, who or what you will meet or what you will do. It moves through the mind, bringing you back to presence. With that, take a nice breath, breathing into the presence of now. You are here and now, allowing and surrendering and letting go in the presence of the I am that I am, the transmutation of the violet flame through the mind. And it will continue to rise and to evolve. And as it does so, begin to bring your intent and awareness to a ring around, a third ring, and begin to feel it rise. And as it rises, it moves quickly through the heart and through the throat. And as it moves through the throat, it begins to release discordant energies of words that were spoken that were not in alignment of the creation of your thought, in which you wanted to bring forth the unity of love. And as it does so, it moves into the heart and into the emotional field, transmuting any discordant emotions, allowing the shadow to arise as it purifies instantaneously in the quickening of its flame, releasing and dissolving these old patterns. And now you're held within the threefold flame of the violet flame, in the color of blue within the body, the color of yellow within the mind, and the color of pink within the emotional field as it swirls together, the violet flame purifying, releasing, and letting go. In this now moment, for the willingness for you to surrender and to let go, the purified field is clear. And so it is. Aware now of this energy of the violet flame, aware of its power, inviting you to invoke it every day and every night, clearing and purifying. And knowing with that, we shall come in with the presence of the higher consciousness, replacing it with the vibration of purity, unity, love, and light. Allowing yourself for one moment to be present with that. And we are going to leave your etheric body here until you choose to invite it home. It may maintain itself there, clearing, till you fall off to sleep this evening. And when you do, you may invite it back, or you may choose to return. But for now, we will invite and allow those energies to continue to receive this blessing as you, in the higher part of the aspect of who it is that you are from the I am that I am, move away from self. Step out now and become the witness looking at yourself held in the violet flame of transmutation, giving it permission to leave a part of you there to receive these blessings, where the other part of you, for now, returns back to the body vessel in a higher, more purified, vibratory state. And with that, you may begin to float out of the temple of the amethyst crystal, past Saint Germain, through the golden doors and down the steps, through the corridors of flowers and fountains, and back to the golden disc where you have arrived, as a spiral of light carries you up, ascending you up through the mountain and into the holding station, up into that of the vehicle of light of your great Merkaba, returning back to the presence of the body temple in the current state where you are, knowing now that you are lighter, clearer, and more purified, and that this purification of the violet flame continues. And so it is. Knowing now that you are, and remember to know that you are divine, being of light, that you are love, that you are God, that you are all that is, and that the I am presence is always here, in the willingness to merge with, let go, surrender, trust, and know that all is divine. And with that, I send to you all of my love, all of my light, many blessings, and good day. All right. Thank you, everyone. I went way over time. I apologize for that. So that recording will send out in the replay and will be available. You can listen to it before you go to bed, skip over till it starts, and it should be supportive for all of you. Keep invoking and inviting that energy to come in, okay? I love you. Join us for the key codes. Christ consciousness starts 12:12. You can pop in self-love if you want to catch up and start in the morning. We've got 4 more days of that as well. Okay. Many blessings, everybody. Sorry, I apologize for going over time. And I will unmute you, and I'll see you next Sunday at 9 a.m. Mwah.
Thank you.
Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you,
Thank you
Raphael,
so
San
much.
Germain.
Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Blessings.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you.
Amazing clearing.
Thank you,
Bye,
Kelly.
guys.
Thank
you.
Kelly.
And Jermaine, thank you.
Thank you.
Many
Thank
blessings.
you.
Love you.
love. Thank you.
Much love.
Thank
All
you.
right. I'm going to hang up.
Have a-
Love you. Bye.
Have a great day.
You too. Great day.